Hello again. It is Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit. Talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week, and we are so glad that you have joined us. Steve Post in the Hercules Tire Studios here in Concord, North Carolina. From the Lethal Chassis Studios in Pennsylvania, it's Ashley Stremme. Hello, Ashley. How are you?
I am fabulous. We did some racing here in Pennsylvania at Bedford this weekend, but it was good to get back at the track. You were crazy busy this weekend as well.
Oh, it was great. I got to see my friends USCS, the Pete Walton's deal. Anytime you get to watch Danny Smith race, it is a treat. So I got to watch Danny and Perry Gray, and Jared Hortzman picked up the win. He's a Northwestern Ohio racer that picked up the win on Friday night. And then Saturday night, we had that big late model race, the Valley Star Credit Union 300 for the late model stocks over at Martinsville. And we had a 16-year-old kid come out of nowhere and win that one. So, fun weekend, that's for sure. We talk all about it, Ashley. Get to the racetrack, boy, friends and competition and excitement, whether it's Bedford or Martinsville or Bulls Gap, Tennessee. It's always good to be at the racetrack.
It's true. And of course, this weekend, kicking it off strong here in Pennsylvania is none other than the National Open at Williams-Grove. And a lot of good stuff happening in Pennsylvania these next few weeks.
All hands on deck, the Posse versus the Outlaws, all of the time coming up over these next few weeks. So it is cool. It is really, really sweet. That's for sure. Hey, also sweet is when a youngster gets his first career win. This was from the NARC King of the West Series. It was the Jim Turner Memorial out at Hanford's Keller Auto Speedway. Corey Day, a 15-year-old second-generation racer. We'll talk about him a little bit more later on. Mixing it up with Tim Kading. Here's our buddy Bobby Jarrell with the call on Flow Racing.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
They go side by side down the back straightaway. Neither driver gives an inch into turn number 3. Who's it going to be? Tim on the top, Corey Day on the bottom. Give it to the 15-year-old Corey Day.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Deaf, the official deaf of the World of Outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Pride. Passion.
Performance.
We are.
We are.
We are Team Dryden.
Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit, continues on. We are so glad you joined us, and we are so glad joining us from home, which is weird. We get a World of Outlaw, NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Driver team from home in Pennsylvania from Shark Racing. Joining us on the Hercules Tires hotline is Logan Schuchart. Hello, Logan. Welcome into Wing Nation.
How's it going? Great to be here.
Well, it is great to catch up with you. I know that World of Outlaw drivers and teams are used to the gypsy lifestyle, but it has got to be nice to get back to Pennsylvania and have a little bit of time staying in Pennsylvania with racing there over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely. We got a big race coming up this weekend, the Williams-Grove National Open. It's always great to be here for that. You know, lots of friends and family, but then one of our bigger races of the year. So a lot of nostalgia to that race. But it's just nice to be here. You know, after Knoxville, after the Nationals, we start traveling a lot. You know, we hang out in the Dakotas for a few weeks, but after that, it's a lot of driving and a lot of racing, and then all of a sudden it slows way down. So we just got back from California. Like I said, drove 2,800 miles in the last week to get here back to Shark Racing, and it's nice to be here, be home, see family, and just hang out in the nice weather. It's beautiful here.
Logan, these next few weeks, is there more pressure on your plate because you are from Pennsylvania and you want to do well here? Or does it not really matter anymore because you've been on this circuit for 7 years now? Is there pressure that you put on yourself each and every week, or does these next few weeks hold a little bit more than any other typical race would?
I feel like they're, now at this point in my career, just the way just being on the road for a little while, I feel like they all feel the same. I know it's a bigger race, but I go out and I try to win every one of them. They all mean a lot to me. Every World of Outlaw win that you can, are able to accomplish, they're hard. So I'm waiting to get one of those, crown jewels. We're fortunate enough to win the Jackson Nationals early in the year, which was the biggest win in my career. But the Williams Grove National Open's up there. I always thought of that as right behind the Knoxville Nationals and the Kings Royal. That was third. That was third on the list. So I'd like to add that to my resume and keep working towards that. And we have a great opportunity this week to make that happen.
Logan, I think one of the reasons you've got to feel you have a great opportunity is the performance of the team. When you look at the season, there's 6 wins. There was one in February, one in May, and then the Jackson Nationals. But the final 3 wins have all been here or in the month of September. You've got to feel like your car right now. It sounds like you guys are hitting on all 8 cylinders.
Yeah, all 8, maybe 6 sometimes. We won Eldora on Friday. We had a rocker shaft break, and about 10 laps in, there's a restart with Donnie, and I was running second to him. I was trying to feel like how I could set him up to kind of run in the corner and get a big run on him, and ran right through the hole of 3 and 4, and it lost 2 cylinders. And I kept looking at the oil pressure gauge, and it looked good, and I thought, it sounds horrible, but I'm just going to keep running it, especially when we're in a position to win. And, Eldora always gets so slick. It's almost, maybe it could help you to lose a few cylinders. So, and it did. I talked to David Gravel and James McFadden and Victor Lane, and they were telling me how they couldn't keep the tires under them, that every time they tried to get on the gas, it seemed like the tires would just spin. And I was foot to the floor and never lifted. So maybe it helped me in a way. But this Shark Racing team has done a great job. I just have to thank Dryden Performance Product for all they've done the last few years. Really up this race team and brought them to the next level. They're filled with great people. They have a great passion for the sport, great product, and Shark Racing's just very excited to keep growing with them. So they've really helped our race team. In a year that we've struggled at times. We had a tough summer where I felt all this year we were very fast. I felt like we could have these wins that we've had in the last few weeks could have happened in the summertime. Some second, third place finishes, in July I think we fell out running the top 3 5 or 6 times. So those could have been wins, and it's just rebounding. Our guys working hard and really not giving up and just trying to keep their confidence up, and they do. So they want to win as much as I do. They got a high level of passion, and we're fortunate the last few weeks to pop off a few wins. So like I said, I'm hoping to get a few more before.
Logan, it's awesome that you mentioned that, because I think back, we've kind of followed you on this World of Outlaw journey these last 7 years. And I remember the stories you used to tell at the beginning. The trailer broke down and things were going wrong, and you guys were really on a shoestring budget. Dryden comes along 7 years later. Here you guys are. But you talk about that motor, and it was down 2 cylinders. How much do you pay attention to that kind of stuff and making the right decision and not trying to put your team in a bad position by losing a motor or things like that, so you can continue to see that success?
Yeah, earlier in my career, I probably would have definitely pulled in, especially, if, it would have been tough racing for a win like that. I think even earlier in my career, I would have maybe pushed the issue. But also to have enough experience that I kind of know by how the engine felt, to know what was wrong, whether it was something catastrophic or if, something that's not going to, hurt the engine too bad, that, even though I ran 20 laps with it broken like that, we could send it back this week, and it's pretty much a simple fix. It didn't really hurt too much. So fortunate of that, but, as a young driver, you don't, especially on the budget that we've always been on. And like I said, Dryden has helped us a ton, but something that you never want to do, no matter what position you're in, no matter how, how much help we have, how many cars are sitting in this garage in the wintertime. I don't feel like my driving style is going to change a whole lot. I'm never going to be the one that's, going to tear up a whole lot of stuff. It's just not how I was taught. And it goes back to, the fundamentals of how I started and, how I was taught to race.
No doubt, and you were taught by one of the best, your grandfather, Bobby Allen. Logan, hang in there with us. Everyone stick around. More with Logan Schuchart in just a moment.
Hey, Ashley, what are you up to?
Oh, I just stopped by to grab some sage fruit apples. Now I just have to decide which ones.
You can never go wrong with a Honey Crisp. They're light, crisp, and full of perfectly balanced flavor.
Oh, hey.
You could always go with one of their classics, the Gala or Fuji. They're both sweet and juicy.
Grown in the heart of Eastern Washington, Sage Fruit Company works hard on the farm and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears to consumers all year long.
Well, I couldn't decide which ones. Thanks for the help, guys.
I'll race you to checkout.
Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit. We are joined on the Hercules Tire Hotline by Logan Schuchart. That Dryden, number 1S from Shark Racing. And Logan, we talked in our first segment a lot about on the racetrack. I want to talk a little bit about off the racetrack. And I absolutely love your dog, the Bulldog, Bubba. And did I see this right? Bubba has his own hero cards now?
He does. My girlfriend Summer did a really cool thing, and her and if you know Wes from the World of Outlaws, Wes Irwin, he has a Living Like Outlaws page, so make sure you check that out. But he donated to it, helped her get some cards, got a little ink pad so he can what they call polygraph them, and for when fans come by. But I believe that she charges $3 for them, and she used a little bit to get some more cards, and then the extra all goes, she donates to SPCA. So a cool little thing she has going on for sure.
Well, Bubba isn't little by any means. You definitely nicknamed him correctly. He's a big boy when he walks through the infield there. But Logan, you talk about summer. You guys are on the road all the time. You guys are finally back home. As someone who works with their husband all the time, is when Summer gets home, is she like, all right, bye, Logan, I love you, see you later, I got friends and family I haven't seen in 6 months, or she's still right there beside you digging all week?
She is. You know, we got back at 4 o'clock yesterday. We had all our family members over that we could think of. You know, it seems like you get back, everybody's, hey, wants to see you, which is awesome. You always want to get back and see everybody. But we just had them all over at our house, got to say hi for a little bit. And like you can see, I'm back at the race shop today. She's in the T-shirt trailer helping my mom, so we're both back at it.
Back at it, back digging, that's for sure. Okay. So now I kind of snooped around a little bit on Instagram and social media, and I see that Summer is a pampered chef consultant, and some of the food that she has looks spectacular. How does that work on the road? Are you indulging on the road? Do you focus on healthier eating? How does that work? And having someone that's really passionately into cooking, that's got to be a real perk being on the road.
Yeah, I'm fortunate. You know, Summer, she enjoys cooking. If it was up to me, I'd try to eat healthy, but I'm a fast food kind of guy. Not really, but I guess I'd be trying to get Panera Bread or something, get some salads. But I'm not. I don't know a whole lot. I can make some eggs and stuff, but she's pretty good at it and she enjoys it. So she makes some healthier meals and try to stay healthy, try and stay running, do all that kind of stuff. I got to keep up with you. I see you running all the time. You get me. See those posts, I'm like, man, you make me feel lazy. I better go out for a run.
I bet you could. Yeah, I bet you could handle that. That's for sure. I'd be running behind you, I'm sure, Ashley.
Logan, so now that you guys are home, you've got a few weeks here. Is there something that you guys do while you're home? Is there a place that you guys got to get to? Like, what's the perfect date night now that you're not on the road living out of a motorhome?
We have a favorite spot if you are in town, go to Lincoln Speedway or Williams Grove. C&D Bar and Grill up the road. Actually, Summer used to work there. It's a nice little place, and it seems like a lot of family like to go there, but that's one of Summer and I's spot. We had our first date at a place down the road called Fratelli. It's a really cool Italian restaurant, and so that's one we like to go to also.
That is really, really neat. That is for sure. You talk a little bit, and we kicked around about the running, the fitness on the road. How does that work? Is it simply running, or do you find gyms? How do you balance that road lifestyle with trying to maintain your fitness?
I keep a few things under the bus, but to mess around with, but don't really lift too many weights. I've always been kind of a stalkier little guy. It doesn't take much for me if I did lift weights to kind of get bulky, but I also get fat quick too. So I got to keep running, and that's what I like doing. I like to run. You don't have to think about it a whole lot. You just take off. But in the wintertime, I do some kickboxing. I probably actually go to that gym here tonight. There's a cool guy in town. It's called Hanover Boxing, and do some of that stuff for something different. But on the road, I like to jump rope, just anything to get the heart rate up and something I feel like it's going to help me as far as racing.
All right, something that's really cool that you guys did at Knoxville that you're bringing back here to Pennsylvania that incredible, awesome throwback to Scruffy and that car. Talk about what that's like for you, knowing, that was your grandpa's legacy and you being able to run that and kind of the tradition that that team holds.
Yeah, I've watched that car go around the track a lot in videos, and I watched it, the video of him winning Knoxville so many times. Just even this year before the Nationals, knowing how special it was, and it's just really cool that I'm able to have him there with me, still. And we've been on the road for so long. He's taught me so much as far as lessons that you could teach as a grandfather, and then also the racing. As far as racing goes, and just his attitude about life and how he goes about things, and just his no quit attitude and how he's always been. So, and Jake and I are still able to have him at the racetrack to kind of bounce ideas off, talk about things. And he's at his age, he's highly involved. He's not just the owner of the team, but he's 100 mile an hour every day, talking about racing, talking to other crew chiefs, trying to learn some things, and talk about our cars, and just he never stopped. So really cool that that's his attitude. I'm able to work with him every day, and to drive a car that represents him, that he had a lot of success in, and just like I said, bring that nostalgia back to the track, and able to race it again. So I was hoping to do a little better there in August, and but it's still a good finish. But maybe we can put the thing in victory lane here in ahead.
They will tear that place down if that car is on the front stretch when we get done this weekend at Williams Grove. So, Logan, I'm telling you, it's always great to hang out and catch up with you. Congratulations on the recent success. We wish you the best in Pennsylvania. Not only this week, Williams Grove, the big National Open, but next week up at Port Royal as well. Thanks for joining us here on Wing Nation.
Yeah, it's always great to be on. Thanks for having me again.
There we go, driver of that Dryden car. It's Logan Schuchart here on Wing Nation. Stay with us. Our Tweet Your Seat Tweet of the Week and a lap around the sprint car world are coming up.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
We're back. You're watching Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit, and it is time for the Tweet Your Seat Tweet of the Week, and it's coming from Eldora, the Four Crown this week. Mandy Newton tweeted in, she's there. It's one of her favorite weekends of the year, and she's been coming to this race for almost 30 years. It looks like she's got her dad there with her. But Mandy, I've got to admit, it doesn't look like you're old enough to be going for almost 30 years.
Mandy sent some pictures in the past. I love her and her father getting out and going to racetracks. All right, let's take a lap around the sprint car world. We're going to start in turn number one. We talked about this a little earlier. California sprint car racing. One of the legendary drivers, a mainstay, is a guy named Ronnie Day. He was the 2000 Golden State Challenge King of the California champion, won a Trophy Cup, a Johnny Key Classic, a Dirt Cup up at Skagit, a Pombo Surgeon Classic. Ronnie Day was a really, really good, successful racer. And Ashley, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree because his son Corey Day has taken up the mantle.
He's only 15 years old, so he's got a bright future ahead of him. And just like Logan, he's got a mentor that is going to continue to mold him and shape him. He's ran 6 360 races last year. This year, he won in June in his first 360. Then, of course, Saturday night, it was the NART King of the West. He outdueled a veteran, Tim Kading, to win his first career 410 race in the Jim Turner Memorial there at Hanford, Colorado Speedway. So he's got a bright future ahead of him as well.
Future is bright, that's for sure. There's turn number one. Let's go to turn number two. Brad Sweet, the three-time champion. Well, hold on 1 second here. Saturday, the Commonwealth Clash at Lernerville, David Gravel picked up the win, okay? And we're going somewhere where David Gravel's good. Ashley, I think Sweet's the favorite, but this championship may not be over for the World of Outlaws just yet.
I would have to agree, especially when it comes to Williams Grove. I think David Gravel's more the favorite than Brad Sweet, but it's going to be a good battle, and I think that's what makes these points battles, now that we are towards the end of the season, more fun to wrap up. Obviously, David Gravel has 8 Williams Grove wins. Brad Sweet still looking for that first win at Williams Grove. So it'll be interesting how these next few weeks shake out till we head to where all dirt roads lead in Charlotte.
120 points difference in the last few races. David Gravel has chopped 30 off from that, and Williams Grove is a place where you can lose or gain some points. So stay tuned on that. Let's head down the back straightaway into turn number 3, the Flow Racing All-Star Circuit of Champions. Ashley, this started before we started our year, January in Stremme, and here we are a short 10 months later, 9 months later, they're getting ready to wrap it up for the All-Star.
Yes, the 14th annual Jim and Joanne Ford Classic at Fremont. Jim and Joanne, they resurrected Fremont in 2000, and Friday and Saturday, it's $10,000 to win. Like you said, it's their last stop of the season, and we'll see. It looks like Tyler Courtney's going to wrap up the point championship there.
Great stuff with the All-Stars, that's for sure. That's turn number 3. Now let's head to turn number 4. Greg Stevens is a name that anybody in the industry knows, and those of us particularly who work in the television or broadcast portion of it know. Ashley, Greg Stevens was such a key part of television and sprint car coverage.
It really, truly is. Greg, I've known him for 15, 16 years now, and the path that he paved, people don't realize back in the day when he started this deal, there was no Wi-Fi. There wasn't, you just put it in the Dropbox file. There wasn't anything like that. That man cut things in his van, drove 200 plus miles to the airport to overnight what needed to get there so it could hit TV the next day. What Greg did for our sport of sprint car racing and pay-per-view is absolutely insane.
Between 1987 and 2004, Greg put 840,000 miles on that van, cutting and distributing sprint car footage, very critical for sprint car TV. He would send it all over the country, whether it's a Dave Despain or a Pat Patterson or a local television station that wanted something, Greg Stevens would send it out. The reason we're talking about Greg Stevens is we lost Greg Stevens over this past weekend on Sunday morning. 72 years old, had fought a valiant battle against cancer and lost that battle, and we are going to miss Greg Stevens. He is enshrined, though, at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, and our sincere condolences, thoughts and prayers are with Nick and Mindy, his children, and really everybody in the sprint car family. Thank you, Greg Stevens, for what you have done for all of us. More Wing Nation in just a moment.
I'm not ready yet. Come on. All right, I'm ready now.
Hey, Ashley, what are you up to?
I just stopped by to pick up my sage fruit apples. Now I just have to decide which ones.
Yeah, okay.
This is what it looks like when you do it.
Ta-da!
Take a deep breath, count to 5. It's like running across a rhythm section at a motocross track.
Mine was perfect.
Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit, continuing on. We are so glad you joined us. We love talking sprint car racing, whether it's a lap around the racetrack or one of our favorite drivers like Logan Schuchart. And you can join us also on wingnation.com. We have programs Tuesdays and Thursdays, Aaron Evernham and I with that. Ashley, I am telling you, the season is winding down. Before we get to between now and then, you need to mention that we are going to have Wing Nation presented by Dry Dean shows coming up at the World Finals. You and Aaron are going to be doing shows at the World Finals. How about that?
That's right. It'll be a Jackson reunion all over again. So we're bound to be fun, for sure.
Bound to be fun, that's for sure. I just hope there's no police reports or mall security cop reports that I'm having to tend to, that's for sure. Between now and then, there's still a lot of racing. We talk about Williams Grove this weekend, Port Royal, the Nittany Showdown next weekend. I actually get a chance. They have this one-off race at Lakeside in Kansas coming up at the end of October, and that's NASCAR weekend. So I get one more World of Outlaw race, and then I actually have one race coming up in a couple of weeks with the Carolina Sprint Tour that I'm going to see Friday night at Carolina Speedway. So a few more sprint car races for me, and Ashley, I'm assuming there might be one or two left in your plan as well.
Oh yeah, at least 3 more weeks for sure, but it's insane. Racing season's almost over.
It is, absolutely. Hey, thanks to Logan Schuchart for joining us, but more important than all of that, thank you for joining us here on Wing Nation.